another fighter who's reaching for greatness. Mikey Garcia is fighting Spence in March. How do you see that fight playing out?
It's an interesting fight based on what Mikey Garcia believes and what he sees and what he feels like he can capitalize on. Logic would say that Spence would win the fight, but things have happened before. But until it's proven that Mikey can overcome all the things that he's going to be faced with, it's an open fight. It's up to Mikey to prove it, and that he actually belongs in the fight.
Virgil, how soon do you think Mario will be ready for a title shot, man? He's been looking really great his last few fights, man. Do you think he's close? And how soon are you ready for a title shot?
As I said earlier, I think he's probably about a year away. And it's crucial the competition that he fights the rest of the way, making sure that he fights the right opponents and tested the right way to make sure that he overcomes these tests and give him the confidence of being able to fight for a title. You don't want to just fight for it, you want to win the title. So when I feel that he can go in there and actually win a title, that's when we'll make that move.
What's your opinion on, you talked about Mikey moving up and that Spence is logically the favorite. What's your opinion on like the size that Mikey's put on? Do you feel like, obviously sometimes fighters move up and get tight?
I think where he has to be careful is like Khan against Canelo. When you're carrying around an extra weight in the ring, it does put a different demand on your oxygen capacity, particularly in the actual fight. So the question would be, is his body used to carrying around that extra weight, that extra bulk in a fight? 3 months to 4 months to put it on. I always say that strength and conditioning is not done in one fight. It's done over a span of fights, a span of time where it really takes effect. You can have a visual look of it. You'll be able to progress on the exercises just like anything else that you do on a consistent basis. But to get the true benefits of strength and conditioning, it has to be done over a period of years. So it's a big jump in weight. If he comes in over 150 or anything like that, I think he could possibly feel that extra weight, particularly at the pace that Spence fights. It's not going to be a pace where he's going to be active 3 minutes of every round. And it's just like the Canelo fight with Khan. There was no lull in the action, so I could see that the extra weight that Khan was carrying actually began to affect him around the 56 rounds. His reaction and speed wasn't as well, and he became more and more stationary. So that's one thing you have to be leery of and wary of. That extra weight that he's not used to fighting could be a negative factor.
Yeah, because when it was Andre, I think he took 3 or 4 fights at 75 to get used to the weight.
You have to acclimate to that weight. You assess what you're walking around in, and then you always keep a record of where he's doing his best sparring in camp. You know, if he's fighting 135, his best sparring sessions might be 142, 141. So I would say that he should come in close to his best sparring weight as opposed to outwinning, because the extra weight is not going to turn over the strength. You're not going to be stronger than Spence, even though you have the extra weight and the extra muscle. That's a 3-month period that you're putting this on. It's not over the years. You haven't had time for your body to really truly acclimate to it. So I think the closer he comes to his best sparring weight, maybe coming in, maybe not just weighing in at 47, but actually being as light as possible and to use the speed that he has to overcome the size to fit. Even if you weigh the same, you're outsized because it's not a natural weight for you. So I think that's where they have to be careful, not to come in too heavy to try to match Errol weight pound for pound. But go to a best fight weight, a best sparring weight for him.
So with that being said, would you be significantly surprised if Mikey wins the fight? Is that a big upset in your mind?
Of course. It's a real big upset. I think anybody in boxing would say that. I mean, I don't think there's nobody in there that would not. There's nobody in this area right here that can confidently go and put $1,000. Okay, go put $1,000 on Mike right now with no odds, just a straight $1,000. You seriously think about it, you know, because it's not that he can't do it, it's just that you haven't seen him under those circumstances. You haven't seen him exposed to that type of fight, a rugged fight. I'm sure he's going to land his share of punches. I'm sure his IQ is going to come into focus. But that constant pressure that makes you redirect your IQ, makes you have to reassess the situation, that constant pressure and just being hit on. Where you have to say, man, if he catches me clean with this, I could be hurt, you know. So it's a mental fight. He's got to be mentally in tune every second of every round. He's got to know when and when not to. And but it's a fight. Anything can happen, and he believes in himself. And that's the first, the most crucial thing. He believes in himself. So belief can go a long way in a fight. And I would advise Errol not to take the fight lightly. I don't think he is. I think he's taking it serious because anybody who's challenging you, and you can't afford to lose that fight. So I'm sure he's going to get the best condition